esports, as opposed to gaming, is human versus human in a competitive environment. Infrastructure that surrounds those individuals who play a game. When it gets to the professional level,
Well, I've really enjoyed today. I mean, it's funny when you get involved in these projects and you get involved in executive steering groups and you see a lot of paper and you see a lot of objectives and KPIs and project plans, but when you actually get to see 6 young people playing the games and you see the smiles and the reactions and it's really exciting stuff. So I talk about how this is such a great step forward for us in terms of embracing things that are challenging but different, but such opportunities. Seeing that live in there just made me feel like I need to go back there and play when I'm finished here. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're almost 100 years old, so we've been around for a long period of time in terms of multi-sport games, and so any organization that doesn't constantly look at itself and say, what's the next thing, how do we reinvent ourselves, how do we make ourselves more relevant to the stakeholders and our future fans and our future investors, does so at their peril. And I've been quite often talked about that. So seeing an organization like ours embrace something that is so different from what we've done before, it just only holds well for the future in terms of where we go. Well, it's funny that you say that. I mean, obviously a pilot is a pilot. We want to review it. But when we did our workshop we did a session with all the CGAs around the world, and the Esports Federation, GEF did one for all their esports federations around the world to talk about this opportunity and how exciting it is. The Canadians who are contemplating putting in a bid for 2030 for the Commonwealth Games, the Chief Executive of Canada said, well, we will be putting that into our program. So, I mean, that was a spur of the moment comment, but I think people are really open and interested in seeing how we do things that are different and relevant. So, who knows what the future holds for us. Well, I think one of our taglines at the Federation is sport is just the beginning, and we embrace more than just sport. I mean, you just have to look at Birmingham, who on the 17th is launching a 6-month cultural festival, allowing performing artists to be the best they can possibly be. And what we see, what we want to do is we want to help people build their potential, and sometimes that's in physical activity, sometimes it's not in physical activity. But I think there's also a belief or a misbelief that people who play esports, that's all they do. And I often refer to my nephew, who was a competitive swimmer for years and years, and this was his release. And so, that wasn't how he was identified solely, but it was part of who he was, and it gave him the opportunity to connect with different people around the globe and play. And so from my perspective, if you create opportunities for people to excel and follow their dreams, and hopefully you connect them to being more than just that activity, then you're doing a good thing. Very excited. I mean, I often get the opportunity to talk about how we will be the first multi-sport event post-COVID with full stadia, and that is really exciting. It's exciting for the fans. It's exciting for the athletes who want to perform in front of full stands. I'm in the middle of a board meeting right now that we've just had a break to come and talk about esports. Our next agenda item is Ian Reid, the Chief Executive, giving us a further update. We're very involved clearly in the governance, and it is progressing incredibly well. So people are getting really excited. We're in countdown mode now. It's great to be in Birmingham and showing that off to the world about how exciting it's going to be to host the games here.